Wave 4 in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass blew my mind. Every track is an absolute banger, and not to mention, Wave 4 has brought some new changes, such as an updated meta, which has definitely changed the game for the better. If you want to know which combos are viable, be sure to click the card on the top right corner. With that out of the way, it is time to rank every Wave 4 DLC track in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe BCP from worst to best. Let me know what you think number 1 will be, and feel free to share your personal list in the comment section below. And with that, here we go. Out of all the tracks in Wave 4, I have to say, Tour Amsterdam Drift was the most forgetful. And the crazy thing is, it's not even bad of a tour track. I think it's because it's simply the most uninteresting to come to the BCP. A city track that takes advantage of its urban and country lifestyle is a pretty cool concept, but in my opinion, it wasn't enough to pique my interest. I just don't think there were many memorable moments, and even though the underwater canal section on lap 2 was pretty cool, there wasn't enough pizzazz and it felt pretty barren. I do like how vibrant they made the huge tulip section though, and the windy turns included in the city streets portion can be pretty challenging. But other than that, Amsterdam didn't seem like it introduced anything else that different. Overall, I think Amsterdam Drift is a solid course. It has music that definitely captures the feeling of the Netherlands, but it just wasn't enough to move on higher on this list. At number 7, we have the unexpected last DS track to come to the BCP, DS Mario Circuit. Now let me just say that this remake absolutely surprised me. Nintendo did a great job making this track come to life. I love how bright the track is, and am really glad they didn't baby method the last few turns, which are known to be tough to make. Not to mention, dude, the piranha plants spitting out fire are so cool. Weird to look at for sure, but still very cool to see this new animation in Mario Kart 8. However, despite the new forest section they included that totally reminds me of Mario RPG and the Wooded Kingdom from Odyssey, as well as the addition of Wiggler vibing, it's still a simplified circuit track. I still wish Nintendo added either DS Delfino Square or DS Airship Fortress, since they are a lot more enjoyable to race on in my opinion, but you know, it is what it is. DS Mario Circuit ain't bad, but it is nothing too special other than a couple of time-saving shortcuts that you can take. It's a glow up for sure, and a few new atmospheric additions definitely help make the number 7 spot. At number 6, we are introduced with the second city track in Wave 4, Tour's Bangkok Rush. The capital of Thailand is a pretty unique city track to race on. It has sections where you can race through a river filled with boats, a marketplace where you can drive on top of the roofs, multiple highways with alternate staircase routes, a secretive shortcut. What is not to like? Well, for one, I kinda think the skybox is a little weird on this map. In the original Bangkok Rush for Tour, it gave more of a sunset vibe, which I definitely miss seeing. It gave the track more of an orangey look, and even though it made everything look too warm, it's just so weird to see this weird looking sunset that doesn't simply match with the course's different colors. I don't know, that might just be me, but I'm not really a big fan of it. Not to mention, where are the piranha plants that spit ink? This was such a huge missing opportunity for Nintendo to include, because it made the highway section much more challenging and gave the overall track more life. Oh well, at least Bangkok Rush isn't boring to drive on. Hitting our top 5, we are introduced with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's brand new track, Yoshi's Island, which pays homage to the original Yoshi's Island from the Super Nintendo. Let me just say that the track definitely does a good job in giving gamers that fan service. The stilt guys, Poochie, the Blarg, the various references to the different levels in the game, question mark that opens the bridge in the end, and bruh, the ending goal. Not only does it look like every ending to every Yoshi level, but Nintendo actually included the fanfare music when you finish the race.
Okay.
Dude! Yep, definitely a certified bop. But while there are many good things about Yoshi's Island, I just had to put it at number 5, as I don't find the track as fun to drive on. With little to no shortcuts as well as the absence of alternate routes, it just makes the track too linear and a little boring to drive in sometimes. Not to mention, once you get screwed in the middle of the lap, it's almost nearly impossible to catch up, which is something I'm also not a fan of. But yeah, I feel like Nintendo couldn't have made this track any better. Still love the various changes of elevation and the view that you get when you lift off that trick ramp. Closing in at number 4, we have GBA Riverside Park. Riverside Park is pretty much the new SNES Mario Circuit 3 of Wave 4. It's a simple course, but with lots of windy turns and shortcuts to take. And y'all know how much I love these kinds of tracks. Not to mention, Riverside definitely got a major glow up. When I thought it looked pretty good in Tour, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe surprised me with its brand new sunset vibe, which I totally dig. Unlike Bangkok Rush, I feel like the sunset vibes here match with the jungle-like atmosphere. I seriously feel like Riverside Park is one of the best looking tracks in the Booster Course Pass, almost matching some of the tracks that's found in the base game. To make this track even better, Nintendo also added Patooey plants that can cause ruckus on the course, but also aid players if they're holding onto a mushroom. So yeah, despite the track being more simple, it's still super fun to drive on and so cool to jump out of that waterfall every freaking lap. Breaking our top 3, we finally arrive at our second tour track of this wave, Singapore Speedway. Let me just start off by saying how amazing it looks in the BCP. Nintendo definitely nailed it in terms of appearance, and it's just as spectacular as ever. I'm a huge fan of the music, especially when it changes whenever you reach the Chinatown section, and I fell in love with all the neon colors. Every lap is also very distinctive from the rest, and the route changes aren't confusing to read. My favorite parts are definitely when you shoot out of the cannon to go over the soccer fields and through the rings, as well as flying over the water geysers, which totally reminds me of those Las Vegas water shows. Simply majestic and entertaining to see. Overall, this track is very satisfying to drive on. You definitely get an immersive experience here compared to Tour, and other than lap 1 being pretty short, I'm so happy with how it came to be. Coming in at our silver medal, we have the first ever double dash track to come to the BCP, GCN WALUIGI Stadium. Now this track quite surprised me. I did not expect myself to enjoy it as much, but bruh, it ended up being a fun roller coaster ride that never gets old. The track is so fun, especially on 200cc. There's so many windy turns and fun ramps to trick off of. In addition, I love how Nintendo decided to add tires as obstacles because man do they actually work and they can completely mess you up if you hit them. I was also pleased to see the many anti-gravity sections. It definitely gives the track more depth and more ways to explore. While these new routes aren't really faster to take, it's nice to get on top of every once in a while to bag for a better item, so its inclusion isn't something I really mind. But yeah, not only is this track a blast to race on, but it also looks astonishing too. Waluigi Stadium's glow up is insane with that freaking mud. Yup, you heard me alright, the new mud is amazing. And to top it all off, this track now takes place at night, which helps the track give off more vibrant and contrasty colors, which the previous versions lacked. Overall, I don't have any complaints with Waluigi Stadium. It's simply a course everyone can enjoy. And finally, at number 1, who would have guessed it? It's gotta be Wii's DK Summit. This track is a certified bop. What is there not to like about it? I'm a huge fan of DK Summit from the GameCube, so it's not a shocker that I also like racing on DK Summit. Let's start off with how amazing the music is in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. While it doesn't sound as chiptune anymore due to this Mario Kart's jazzy style, I've always been a fan of this melody. It always makes you feel like you're going through an exciting adventure with its playful jingles. In terms of course structure though, I love the concept of shooting to the top of the mountain in the beginning of the lap. It actually feels like a big race to the finish, climbing down the abundance of snow, over various humps, and avoiding Shy Guys along the way. However, my favorite part has to be how awesome it is to be able to trick off of the half pipes. Tricking and boosting off of these are crucial in improving your times, so to see everyone do it is just a sight to see. In addition, attempting to do the double cut is always a vibe, and I absolutely love it when I'm able to do the last turn skip correctly. All in all, DK Summit is a legendary track. While it can be jank, that doesn't stop me from being a huge fan of it looking like an Olympics event, as well as loving how technical it can be to perfect. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's ranking video. Let me know what you think of my Wave 4 rankings, and feel free to comment yours from worst to best in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe for more Mario Kart content, and don't forget to feed Drybones some Wingstop.